Hi. So to continue with our lesson on atoms and the elements, let us first have a discussion of the periodic table. Now, what you have here is a periodic table in which the elements are being placed or arranged in accordance to similarities in terms of mostly chemical properties. So, your periodic table puts your elements into categories. In this case, the category is based on the type of subshell that is being filled. So, the groups are the representative elements, the noble gases, the transition metals, or also known as your transition elements, the lanthanide series, and the actinide series. So your representative elements are also known as your main group elements. These are the elements that are found between groups 1A and 7A. The representative elements have an incompletely filled S or P subshells of the highest principal quantum number. So if you recall your principal quantum number designated by the small letter N. So you're going to look at the highest principal quantum number. So the highest principal quantum number has the incompletely filled S or P subshell. So in the sense, they are categorized as your main group elements. Next are the noble gases. So the noble gases are found in groups or group 8A. So in group 8A, they have a completely filled P subshell. So it is represented by an electronic configuration of Ns2 Np6. So if you get the total of the electrons between the S subshell and the P subshell, that will be 2 plus 6. That's a total of 8 electrons. So therefore they are called noble gases. Now, in the noble gases, you have an exemption of the definition, which has a completely filled P subshell. So, in helium, you have a 2s2 electron configuration. That's a 1s2, 2s2. So, the outermost or the highest principal quantum number has only S2 as being completely filled. Now, however, it is categorized or placed under the noble gases because the S subshell of the second energy level is also completely filled. The next group are your transition metals. These are the elements in groups 1B, 3B through 8B. They have an incompletely filled D subshells or are readily produced or they readily produce cations with incompletely filled D subshells. The group 2B elements such as your zinc, cadmium, and mercury are neither representative elements nor transition metals. The lanthanides and actinide series are also known as your F-block transition elements because they have an incompletely filled F subshells. So those are your categories or groupings in the periodic table. Now, going back to the last lesson that we had on electronic configuration, there are a lot of information that you can actually find or get out of the electron configuration of an element. Knowing the electronic configuration of your element will also tell you the location of your element in the periodic table. So where is the element located or where can you find the element in the periodic table? So let's have, for example, the electron configuration of magnesium, which is 12 or which has 12 electrons. Now, let's compare that to the electron configuration of your calcium. So if you take a look at this, Magnesium has an electron configuration of 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, and 3s2. So, talking about groupings of your element, so it was explained in the previous slide that you need to take a look at the highest principal quantum number. So between this, the highest principal quantum number is 3. Okay, so 3. Then look at the subshell. How many electrons are filled, or how many electrons are present or are found in the subshell? So magnesium has 2 electrons in the subshell. So the grouping of your electron is a representative element. Okay? Now for calcium, having 20 electrons, this is the electron configuration. Again, the highest principal quantum number is 4, and in that you have a subshell S which has 2, or which have 2 electrons. So it also means that calcium is a representative element found in group 2. Okay, so here magnesium is also found in group 2. Now let's have another example. This time we have fluorine and bromine. Fluorine has 9 electrons, bromine has 35 electrons. So fluorine has an electron configuration of 1s2, 2s2, 2p5. The highest principal quantum number is 2. So how many electrons are found in 2, or in the second energy level? So that is S, you have 2 electrons, and in 5 you have 7 electrons. So if you take a total of the electrons, that is 2 plus 5 equal to 7, which means that fluorine is found in group 7. Now for bromine, which has 35 electrons, the highest principal quantum number is 4. So you have 4s2 and 4p5. If you take the total of the electrons in the fourth energy level, you have 2 plus 5, and that is 7, which also means that bromine is also found in group 7. You can confirm that by looking at the periodic table, um, just to confirm if it is correct. Now, the electrons that we were counting, or the electrons that were located in the highest principal quantum number, is also known as your valence electrons. Now, a valence electron is an electron that is found in the outermost or in the highest energy level. Now, the valence electrons of your elements will also give or group your elements according to its chemical behavior. So usually, the elements that are found in the same group have similarities in terms of chemical behavior, with the exemptions of your group 3A and group 6A. For example, you have carbon, which is a nonmetal, silicon, which is silicon and germanium, which is a metalloid, and you have tin and lead, which are metals. So basically, they are chemically different. But if you take a look at carbon, silicon, germanium, tin, and lead, they are found in the same group. Okay, so to locate or to get the value of your valence electron, example, again, going back to magnesium, which has 12 electrons, the highest energy level is 3. How many electrons are there? So that's 2, meaning to say the valence electron of magnesium is 2. For bromine, the outermost or the highest principal quantum number is 4. You have here 4, 4s2, and 4p5. So you get the total of the electrons there. That is 2 plus 5. So you have valence electrons of 7. So the group number of your element is actually the vertical arrangement of your element. So in a group that is divided into group 1A, and you have your group 2, group A and group B elements. For a period, you have the horizontal arrangement of your elements. So how will you locate the period? Simply, you need to look at the highest principal quantum number. So if we take a look at here, example, magnesium, the highest principal quantum number is 3, which means that magnesium is found in period 3. Calcium has the highest principal quantum number of 4, which means calcium is found in period 4. Fluorine has 2 as the highest principal quantum number, so it's found in period 2. So bromine is found in period 4. Now, the Lewis dot structure represents your valence electrons in dots. You have here an illustration or a figure showing the Lewis dot structure. So, example, the valence electron of magnesium is 2. So, the electrons, you have here the 2 electrons or the 2 valence electrons of magnesium. Here, you also have the 2 valence electrons of calcium. So, for bromine, the valence electrons is 7. So, you have 1, 2, 3, 4. Then, pair up the 5, 6, and 7. So, a similar pattern can be seen in fluorine. Now, why are we following this arrangement? The arrangement of your electrons is in 4 sides, and then pairing it with pairing the electrons, the excess electrons, because we are following the octet rule. Okay, so in the octet rule, for an element to be stable, it must possess 8 valence electrons. So the paired electrons here, the paired electrons again, is what we call a lone pair. So if it is a lone pair, it does not have the ability or capacity to bond with other electrons. Whereas if you have an electron that is unbonded, meaning walay pair or unpaired, that gives you the ability, or that gives the ability of the element to bond. So in this case, example, bromine has 1 electron that is unpaired. It means that bromine will need 1 more, or will have an ability to pair with 1 more electron. So the same thing goes for fluorine. So we will be discussing chemical bonding in the next topics, or in the next meetings or session. So here you have your periodic table, an example of your periodic table. So as you can see, on top of the groups, you have here a number system. So before I have explained that the valence electrons tells you your group number. So in this kind of periodic table, or in this kind of representation, the valence electrons telling you the group number is only true for group 1 and 2. Because if your valence electron is 3, then that is found in group 13. If the valence electron is 4, then you have group 14. If the valence electron is 5, that's group 15, 16, then you have group 17 and 18 for the noble gases. Now, for the noble gases, these have almost similar characteristics except for krypton and xenon, which are chemically inert, or meaning to say they do not react that much compared to other elements. So, for next meeting, we will be discussing on the chemical bonding. So, we will be looking into compounds. So, for your activity for today, you answer these questions, and you can write this in a short bond paper and submit this. Again, the deadline will be Friday. Thank you.